friends, thank you so much for coming back to join me for this flow. My name is Lindsay and I will be your yoga teacher for this short practice. We're filming outside again because in Southern Ontario we are having a burst of warm weather. Today's a Thursday, we're having it today and into the weekend, which is very exciting, so why not kind of capitalize on this and be outside. Today we will be doing a twisting flow, so really working twists into the back, really kind of working into those contractions, so you really have to work into your core to make sure that your back is stable in your twists. One of the ideas behind twisting is actually that it is fairly energizing. I guess kind of the rough idea behind it before we get into the actual movement is that when we twist and constrict our blood flow, when we're holding those twists, eventually when we untwist, there's an increase in oxygen that goes into our blood. So we'll feel kind of a burst of energy. Okay, so with that all being said, let's come into a child's pose today, bringing the toes together, the knees about hip distance apart, and let's walk the arms in front of us, resting the forehead on the mat. Allow the fingers to spread wide and know that it's perfectly fine and expected if the seat isn't actually coming towards the heels. Let's take a moment here to tune into any tension in the body. Where are you feeling tight? As well as tuning into our breath. Is there anywhere you're holding your breath? Are you stressed and taking too much tension into your neck? Is your breath being confined to your upper chest? If you're feeling anxious, maybe you want to take that breath a little deeper into the belly. Allow the belly to expand like a balloon and then fall like the air is coming out of that balloon. If you haven't already and a particular intention is calling to you, this is your time to set one for your practice. And know that it's also perfectly legitimate to just have the intention of showing up on your mat and enjoying the moment and enjoying this practice as you flow through it. It really doesn't need to be more complicated than that for you. Let's take another breath here. On your next inhale, let's start to shift forward into our tabletop positions. Let's do a few cat and cows, nice and simple to warm up the spine. Let's breathe in, drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone, maybe look up. Exhale, push the ground away, draw the tummy in, contract the core. 3 more times like this, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze, lift the heart. And as you exhale, push the ground away. 2 more times, your own pace. Adding any movement that you need here as you work through these cat and cows. They can be as simple or complex as you like. Work on that last one. Coming back into our neutral spine, let's walk the arms in front, but keep the hips where they are. Coming into our heart melting pose, our puppy pose. Allow the elbows to just rest on the ground for now. Allow the forehead to rest on the ground and start to press the chest a little bit lower into the ground. You can always take the hands to blocks here as well. Keep drawing the tummy in so we're not arching too intensely into the back. And then start to push into the hands and lift the elbows off the ground now for a little bit more of an intense, active version of puppy pose. Because this is a twisting class, I'll ask you to take the right hand underneath the left with the palm facing up and come rest onto that shoulder as well as the right ear as you bring the left hand back towards the inner crease of the right hip. So just an option. You can always reach that hand up towards the sky. Pretty intense for the shoulder. Try to parallel off the hips here and think about twisting almost from the navel upwards. So really from the mid to upper back. As you draw the tummy in, again, it is so integral to think about your core in your twist. You should be able to get a little bit of a deeper twist as we move through this practice. Let's take that left hand back out in front of us. Do the same thing with the right. Let's just take a breath here into our puppy pose. Maybe relax into it for a moment. Let the elbows come down to the ground. And then start to pick up the elbows one more time. This time the left arm threads underneath with the palm facing up. Rest onto the left shoulder and the left ear. Reach the right arm up towards the sky, and then maybe reach it behind you to the left hip crease. Notice if your hips are swaying too far over to the right, try to parallel them off. Again, twisting from the navel upwards. Just a few breaths here to wake up the spine. As you breathe in, re-extend the top arm towards the sky, and then that right hand comes down, followed by your left. One more breath into your puppy pose. And then let's shift forward into our Sphinx pose. Elbows come to the ground, draw the tummy in, reach the tailbone back, point the toes back here, heart opener, allow the chest to open. And then start to tuck the toes, draw the tummy in, engage the quads as you come to your forearm plank, just working into the core. We won't be here for long. Spread the shoulders wide, away from each other. So protract through the shoulders, push the ground away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming up onto the left hand, then onto the right hand. Hold it here into your straight arm plank. 5, 4, 3, draw that tummy in. 2, 1. Bend the knees, shift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Find any intuitive movement that is calling to you today. Maybe lifting one heel at a time, bending one knee at a time, or lifting both heels at the same time here. Try to plant down through the index finger and the thumb. Keep spreading the shoulders away. Press the chest towards the legs. Now, if you had to choose between kind of flattening out, neutralizing the spine, or bringing the heels to the ground, I would rather you pick the first one and keep the knees lifted, or keep the knees bent, pardon me, and keep the heels lifted. Let's start to narrow off this down dog. So maybe walk the hands in a few inches here. And then let's take the left hand for some portion of the right leg. So it can be up towards the hip, the thigh, maybe down towards the shin or the ankle, and twist over to the right side. Maybe the gaze peers under that right shoulder. Keep neutralizing, squaring off the hips, drawing the tummy in to increase this twist. And then setting the left hand down, coming to the second side, reaching the right hand somewhere along the left leg, wherever feels comfortable for you. Notice any differences from side to side. It is to be expected that we will have differences here. As you start to pull yourself towards the left side, maybe you can take the gaze underneath the left kind of armpit region and shoulder. Keep breathing in your twist. So there will be a slight restriction to the breath and the twist, but you should still be able to fully inhale and exhale. Untwisting from here, take the right hand back down towards your mat, and then breathe in. Reach the right leg towards the sky. Open up the knee. Open up the hip and bend the knee. I always mess that up for some reason. Keep drawing the heel in towards the seat. Point the knee up towards the sky. Let's inhale. Exhale, draw the knee over towards the opposite side, over towards the left. Pick up the back heel. Inhale to reach the leg back up. Exhale, tap knee to elbow. Twist. Last time, inhale, reach the leg back up, open the hip. And then exhale, draw the knee over towards the left elbow before you extend that foot, almost reaching it towards the height or the level of the left hand. And then reach the left arm up towards the sky, ball and triangle. Keep inhaling and exhaling deeply. Don't restrict the breath. And then reach that bicep over the ear before you come into a seat. Just drop the seat down and reach both hands to the outside of that front foot. So the right foot, almost like a little baby twist here, reaching the nose past the knee. And it's okay if you're up a little bit higher and you're kind of reaching in the direction of that front leg or just past it. Inhale to come back up. Right hand plants down right underneath the shoulder. Sweep the arms the left arm back up, fallen triangle. Left hand comes back down underneath the left shoulder. Let's pick that left leg back up, three-legged dog. Or right leg, pick the right leg back up, three-legged dog. And then set the leg down, pedal it out. Let's take a few breaths here before we come to the second side. Let's breathe in, reach the left leg up towards the sky, open up the hip, bend the knee. I got it that time. Small wins, right? Keep pointing the left knee up towards the sky, draw that heel towards the seat by engaging the glutes. Inhale here, exhale, left knee, right elbow, twist. Try to keep the hips as square as possible, shoulders as square as possible. Inhale, open up the hip, extend, three-legged dog. Exhale, twist, elbow to knee. One more time. Breathing in to lift, three-legged dog. Exhale to come forward and hold for a moment before you extend that foot towards the height of the hands. If you can, it's okay if you don't quite get there. And then start to bump the hips up, press into the feet and into the left hand, and then reach the right arm up towards the sky. Gaze can be wherever is comfortable for your neck. So maybe it's up towards the ceiling, maybe it's down towards the mat for more stability. Start to reach the bicep towards ear, right bicep to right ear. Maybe open up the chest a little bit more. And let's take the hips down before we take a little fold, a little twist towards the outside of the left kneecap. And again, you can always be up a little higher if that is all you can do today. And that is perfectly fine. We don't need any more judgment in our lives. You know, that's why it's called a yoga practice, because we have to continually practice and see small changes as we move. Let's inhale, come back up, left hand plants down under the shoulder, sweep the right arm up, fallen triangle, right hand plants down, pick up the back heel, and then pick up the left leg, three-legged dog, open the hip, bend the knee, send that foot back down. Let's lift the heels, bend the knee, look to where you want to land. If this is your first one, maybe just step forward or take a few steps at a time. You can always take the option of floating or jumping to the top of the mat. Let's take our halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. When you get there, hands can stay, on the ground, or they can come up towards the thighs. Exhale, forward fold one more time. Let's inhale, shift the weight back and towards the heels, chair pose. Arms can be bent or straight, even at heart center. To start here, squeeze everything in towards the midline. Can you see the toes? Can you sink a little lower? Let's take the hands towards heart center. Breathe in here. Exhale, let's twist over towards the left side, or over towards the right side, just for a moment. Inhale back to center, twist towards the left. Inhale back to center, and we hold on the right side. Notice if one knee is shifting, so the left knee is shifting in front of the right, try to draw the left hip back. Keep drawing the tummy in. As you draw the tummy in, can you get a little deeper into the twist? Can those hands come to heart center? Let's start to pick up the left toes here. Take the gaze to the ground, so this will help with balance here. As you start to extend the leg behind you, and lightly, if you can, step back into your easy twist or your revolve side angle. Keep drawing the right hip back. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Now the hands can stay here or they can open up. Reaching the left hand towards the ground, right arm up towards the sky. On our next inhale, let's come into our revolved crescent lunge. Hands reaching energetically for the short corners of the mat in front of us and behind us. Inhale. Exhale. Your next inhale, let's reverse this. Reaching the left hand up towards the sky, right arm behind you for the leg. And then taking the left hand back down to the inside of that front foot. Variation of easy twist here. Keep drawing the right hip back. Now you can hold it here, or you can come onto the blade edge of the back foot. Maybe keep the right foot on the ground for your modified side plank or your full side plank. And let's hold for 3, 2, 1. Right hand comes down, Inhale to shift forward. Exhale, coming all the way down for our first chaturanga. Point the toes back. Inhale, cobra. Let's hold it here. Keep pointing the toes back. Reach the tailbone back. Heart space is proud. And maybe if you want to come into your upward dog, start to engage the quadriceps. Keep engaging the glutes. And if you have hyperextended joints in your elbows like me, bend the elbows. One final inhale. Exhale, wherever you are, shift back into your downward facing dog. Right away, let's take the feet together, lift the heels, bend the knees. Make your way to the top of the mat, however you want to get there. Lightly step forward, jump forward, whatever that looks like. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, take the weight back into the heels. One more time, arms sweep up. Can you see the toes? Can you squeeze the glutes a little bit more? Let's take the hands to heart center if they weren't already there. Let's breathe in. Exhale to twist to the left just for a moment. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Opposite elbow, opposite knee. Inhale, last time, back through center, and we hold the twist towards the left. Right elbow, left knee. And notice again, if one knee is in front of the other, keep drawing the hips into their neutral position here. Engage the core by drawing the tummy in to get those hands a little bit closer towards heart center rather than towards that top armpit. Now, if you're not already there, let's take the gaze down for stability and let's pick up the right foot, almost like a little flamingo. Gently, gently, gently with a bend of the front knee, can you float that right foot off the ground before stepping it lightly back into your revolved side angle pose? Same idea here as you draw the tummy in and find a little bit of tension as you push the elbow to the outside of the knee. You should be able to deepen this twist while still engaging in a meaningful breath. If you did so on the first side, option to lengthen out the arms here. Reaching the left arm up towards the sky, right arm down, and as always, gaze can be wherever is comfortable for your neck. Inhale, exhale. Inhale to come up into your revolved crescent lunge. Keep drawing the left hip back, right hip slightly forward as you engage the inner thighs together. Back knee can be bent if this feels more comfortable for your back. Keep breathing. On your next inhale, reverse this. Front arm comes up towards the sky, left arm comes towards the back leg. Keep reaching the tailbone down, drawing the tummy in, protect the low back. Inhale, exhale, top arm comes down to the inside of the left foot. Reach the left arm up towards the sky, easy twist. Keep drawing that left hip back into the hip socket. Now you can always stay here, or you can come onto the blade edge of the back foot. Maybe the left foot comes in line with the hip for your modified plank, or you come into your full side plank. Now I also have the option, or I always, do this, and a lot of people do this, they open up the top hip slightly, so try to draw it slightly forward to stack them. Push the ground away, maybe get a little higher in the hips. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, plank, shift forward. Exhale, your version, Vinyasa. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we have some option for peak poses here before we close off our practice. So if you want to take a child's pose here before we come into that, then I encourage you to do so. Just pause the video. Let's start to lift the heels, bend the knees, look to where you want to land. Gently make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift when you get there. Exhale, all the way back down, forward fold. All right, inhale, shift the weight back, chair pose. Take your hands to heart center. And let's actually start to come down, lift the heels, lift the heels, and start to draw the seat down towards the heels. So we're coming into our toe balance here. Breathing in to find length in the spine. Exhale, let's take our twist. Left elbow to the right side of our mat. Now you can always hold it right here, and we have a few options. You can take the hands down to the ground. You can always rest both hips, that right hip onto the right elbow as you do this, or for the full variation of side crow, you keep it lifted. So you start to shift the weight forward, look slightly in front of you rather than all the way down, and then start to pick up the toes. Make sure you have your chaturanga arms, so nice and narrow here rather than flailing the arm out to the side. And again, you can always support yourself on the hip. You'll just be a little bit closer to the ground. Keep breathing wherever you are. And if the option is calling you today, you can always extend the legs into your Ekapada 2. Really deep twist. A few more breaths here. And then we'll come back into that twisted toe balance pose. Let's inhale, come back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Let's take the feet hip distance apart, opposite on opposite elbow. Let's just sway side to side. Just allow the natural curve of the spine to happen just before we reset to the second side. Let's inhale, halfway lift as we heel toe the feet back together. Exhale, forward fold. Second side, breathe in, shift the weight back into the heels. Chair pose. Take the hands towards heart center, prayer position in the hands if they haven't already. Start to lift the heels, bend the knees, and with control, with the strength of your legs and your glutes, let's drop, gently drop, or just come down. Draw the seat down towards the heels. And let's twist towards the left side. So right elbow towards the outside of the left knee. And we can always hold it here. This is already pretty intense. I can feel it into my legs, into my ankles, and the strength of my feet, my calves. Or we can take the hands right underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers wide. Again, you can rest the left hip on the left elbow here. You'll just be closer to the ground. Or you can come into your side crow. Look a little bit in front of you here. And you can always extend both legs here, one at a time for Ekapada 2. And then when you're ready, let's come back into that twisted toe balance. Breathing in. Exhale, straighten everything back off, forward fold, maybe open up the feet. Let's just sway side to side here. Let's inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back into your tabletop position before finding your way to a seat. Let's close off this practice with just a few more twists. Let's bring the right foot to the left knee. So we're stacking one shin over top of the other. Now you might not have this perfectly stacked. You might have the feet actually a little bit closer together here. You might even have a space between the knee and the foot, and that's perfectly fine. So you can hold it there, and this is a good stretch just for the glute and the hip. If you want to come into a deeper kind of expression of this twisting pose, let's bring the hands to heart center and twist right elbow to the right foot over towards the left side of your mat. You can always take a fist with that bottom hand and push with the top left hand into it as you draw the tummy in, and maybe take the gaze up towards the sky. I like to flex my feet here. It just reminds me to keep integrity everywhere in the body. Inhale, exhale. With that right leg staying on top, let's untwist from here, extend the bottom leg, so the left leg. And right foot comes across the left leg, the left knee. Let's take the right hand behind us, reach the left arm up towards the sky, either wrapping the arm around the leg or twisting the elbow to the outside of the knee. Flex that bottom foot. Maybe the heel lifts off the ground as you twist, as you engage the leg, the quad, the hamstring, and maybe you take a gaze behind you, behind that back shoulder. Let's come back through center and come to the second side. So this time, right foot underneath, right leg underneath, and then left foot crosses over to the right knee. And again, you might notice some differences, or this knee might be a little bit more lifted from your first side. It might not be as deep of an expression, and that's perfectly fine, no worries. Let's take the hands through heart center and we twist left elbow across to the left foot, opening up the chest towards the right side. And again, you can always take a fist with the bottom hand, and the top hand can push onto it just to increase this stretch and increase the twist. Gaze can be wherever is comfortable. I like to take the gaze up towards the sky. This feels like a very expressive posture. So opening up the chest and being proud in the chest feels very natural. Taking another breath here. Coming out of this as you breathe in, Let's extend the right leg this time. Left foot to the outside of the right knee. Left hand behind you, reach the right arm up, and then twist, your version. Try to keep it similar from one side to the other, but we all know we're tight, so let's go for similar sensation rather than trying to replicate the exact postures from side to side. And again, the gaze can come wherever you like it. I'm taking the gaze behind my left shoulder. Let's inhale to come out of this. Uncross the legs, take the feet hip distance apart, and let's find our way to a seat or to a laying down position. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Maybe one final hug. Wrap the forearms around the shins. Draw the nose towards the knees. Lift the shoulders off the ground. One final big squeeze. One final act of self-love here before we melt down into our Shavasana, our corpse pose. Taking the feet to either corner of the mat, hands and arms rest alongside the body with the palms facing the sky. And I recommend you take as much time as you honestly need here. As much time as you can. Noticing any differences from the beginning of class to now. Noticing if you feel any more energized. Now, if you're still feeling groggy or tired, that's fine too, that happens. Just thank yourselves for coming out onto your mat. Tell yourself, you did great, because you honestly did. You showed up, and sometimes that's the hardest part. Like this video if you want to see more content like this, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste.